this afternoon, we met with the provost in person of Habibu Mainasara, who informed us, briefed us on how the incident occurred. According to him, the bandits were in their large numbers invaded the school at around 10:30 p.m. yesterday evening, and immediately they entered the school. They started shooting sporadically, and as we can also see, there were gunshots on the room of the security guard at the main gate of the school. They killed an inspector, that's a police inspector, who is attached to the Bakura Divisional Police Office, as well as two civilian guards that were also attached to the school. 23 persons were left for the bush by the bandits, but along the line, 3 of them who were staff of the college escaped. Now, 20 persons, comprising 15 students, a staff, a wife of another staff, and 2 daughters of that very staff are currently in captivity. That is, they are currently with the bandits.
Okay, well, it's actually good news that they were met with firepower by the security security agents who were there, and we heard that 3 people have been rescued.
Yes, they are not rescued, so to say. They escaped from the bandits. They were not rescued, according to the provost of the college.
So what is the situation? What is the mood in the town now?
Yeah, the mood is calm, but the college is seriously deserted, as most of the staff and students have left. Actually, very few people were seen in the school, so they have all left. So
okay, okay, Haliru Mohammed Umar, you'll be on ground there to be giving us information as more news comes in about the abducted people there. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, has urged high-ranking Army officers to always give back to their communities. He stated this when he inaugurated projects in Onitsha Ubo. Rosemary Omani reports.
St. Pius Grammar School, Onichubo, is the alma mater of the General Officer Commanding 81 Division, Lagos, Major General Lawrence Fejoku. The Major General renovated 4 classroom blocks and constructed a perimeter fence for the school. The Chief of Army Staff, who was the special guest of honor and represented by the General Officer Commanding 6th Division, Port Harcourt, Major General Sani Gambo Mohammed, inaugurated the 2 projects.
The Chief of Army Staff is supporting senior officers in order to carry out this kind of very laudable projects in their communities. And you can see from the turnout of the people that have come here to witness this commissioning ceremony that the community is indeed happy.
The Onichubo community also enjoyed free medical outreach courtesy of the Nigerian Army as part of their corporate social responsibility. Treated mosquito nets were also distributed. In Onichubo, I am Rosemary Omani, NTA News.
The federal government has released a request for qualification for the concession of 4 international airport terminals and related services. The document signed by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Aviation, Engineer Hassan Musa, the 4 major commercial airports, Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, Malam Aminu Kano International Airport, Kano, and Port Harcourt International Airport and surrounding communities are intended to develop into efficient, profitable, self-sustaining commercial hubs which will create more jobs and develop local industries through a public-private partnership arrangement. The document urged the interested international parties to partner with local firms in compliance with the requirements of the federal government of Nigeria Local Content Development Policy. And for more on security, let's join Kainde in Lagos as FG deploys air personnel for Deep Blue project. Hello, Kenny.
Hello, Jumai, and warm welcome to Lagos. Recent report from the International Maritime Bureau indicates that piracy and armed robbery incidents within the Nigeria's exclusive economic zone have dropped. This feat, attributed to the deployment of the Deep Blue project, has been followed up with the activation of the air tactical component of the platform. Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa Bashir Jamo, commended the partnership with the Nigerian Air Force in the quest to provide an environmental-friendly maritime domain. Malcolm Olaleye reports.
A recent video capturing a vessel wrongly discharging ballast waters into the country's sea signifies the capability embedded in the special mission aircraft of the Deep Blue project. Alongside the special mission helicopters and the unmanned aerial system, the platform provides real-time evidence collection and fast patrol of the country's airspace. Why this ceremony is important is that these personnel, already trained in various specialties and trade on CJ-3 Special Mission Aircraft and AR-3 UAV, will be deployed to give air tactical and operational support to the Deep Blue projects.
I must say that the graduation of these Nigerian Air Force personnel today resonates with the Chief of Air Staff's vision, which is to enhance and sustain air power capabilities required for joint force employment in pursuit of national security imperatives.
Like a case of the skies protecting the ocean, the personnel described as eyes in the sky are relevant in the strategic collection of intelligence gathering.
There is therefore the need for continued cooperation and patriotism of all players to sustain this fiat and thus create maritime industry of our dreams towards safe, secure, and cleaner oceans.
There are 8 littoral states captured under the Deep Blue project, and Ondo State, with the longest coastline, believe the platform will enhance revenue generation.
It's a strategy to implement the blue economy for Nigeria.
The sustenance of the platform has been made easy through the provisions of the Suppression of Piracy and Maritime Offences Act 2019, which set aside certain percentage payable by any offender. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Inconsistent data collection, standards, and wrong investigation method pose operational challenges to organizations and have implication for sustenance and growth in Nigeria. This was the crux of a discussion at a public lecture in Lagos. Imolayo Tukide Ogunfora has details.
Despite several efforts at bridging infrastructure gap in Lagos State, the ever-increasing population of Nigeria's commercial capital has always put a strain on both physical and social amenities. Experts believe that this inadequacy is one of the factors of disasters such as building collapse, flooding, fire outbreaks, and road crashes in the state. Holding at the instance of Lagos State Emergency Management Authority, the lead agency in disaster management in Lagos, this meeting hopes to fine-tune a 5-year strategic plan which will aggregate the commitment and resources of relevant agencies to promote disaster risk reduction as a new paradigm for handling emergencies.
We are ready to ensure that we have operational units in all our 57 local government. Then, anytime they notice anything that is life-threatening, they should create a sort of early warning.
So we are focusing a lot on communication, advocacy, and information, ensuring that people actually know how they contribute to disaster risk.
Submissions at the meeting dwelt on how to achieve higher level of interagency synergy, coordination, and regulations.
They are the first responders when you have emergency and disasters. So we start from the boardroom, and then we start to discuss amongst ourselves. How do we handle these things?
What are the ability of the people to recover? Because most of the victims of disasters will never recover, especially those who don't have insurance coverage.
Preventing disaster and managing it whenever it occurs through a timely response is a major strategy that modern cities now adopt to mitigate losses. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
And that was Adeniyi Taiwo, and the report is about the Lagos State Emergency Management Authority and other relevant agencies meeting and providing solutions to disasters in the society. Jume, it's back to you.
Somewhat, Kenny. The need for the central bank to digitize Forex operations to curb sharp practices arising from implementation of its new Forex policy has re-echoed on Good Morning Nigeria. Economic experts are unanimous that dollarization of the economy must also be addressed. Lydia Sampson reports.
Bank's decision to deny bureau-de-change operators access to Forex has continued to elicit debate. While some are applauding the Apex Bank's decision, others believe what Nigeria needs is appropriate pricing of Forex that will allow interplay of market forces. Some of the guests argue that with the country's low production capacity and foreign exchange limitations, appropriate pricing is a mirage.
Saying we will not license additional BDCs, and we will stop selling foreign exchange to bureau-de-change operators. To my mind, it is a wrong policy, it's a wrong prognosis of the problems and wrong action.
There is the dollarization of the economy, that politicians want to hold dollar. And again, that is exacerbated by the COVID issues. People are worried. There's security implication as well. People are worried they want to hold dollar because they don't know what will happen. And there's a lot of speculation on our Forex rate. So people that want to hold dollar is a much more stable currency in their view than holding Naira.
Nigeria is a country that at the moment, does not have its Naira as a convertible currency. And so it is not in a position like the United States, or the European countries, Euro, of France and others, whose currencies serve as domestic currency and also serve as, international currency.
3 weeks into the new Forex policy, sharp practices in accessing Forex is already generating concern.
The banks, I believe, because of their structure, because they are well policed or monitored or inspected by CBN, I think they would do far, far better than BDCs who are not required to put in so much documentation. Like banks today, if you want to get FX for PT and whatever, you have to fill Form A.
The guests called for culprits to be brought to book as a deterrent, while urging banks to be proactive and sourcing for foreign exchange to bridge the demand and supply gap. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Thank you, Lydia. Now, gender equality, social inclusion that will enhance a better life for women for enhanced productivity and national development has been the focus of the National Gender Policing Drive. The Ministry of Women Affairs is finalizing efforts to validate the policy document. Momso Damien Dutty tells us more.
The venue opens up to the military, police, paramilitary, civil society organizations, development partners, and key players from all sectors. It's a 2-day meeting to validate the National Gender Policy Draft 2021.
But we found out that you cannot deal with women without dealing with the system, that is reproducing gender inequality. And you cannot deal with women forgetting that that woman is a wife, a mother, and a daughter of a man. So really what we are dealing with is not particularly the women, but gender relations or power. Issues of gender are the center of national development. So this new revision is also taking into cognizance emerging issues. Gender equality, in which we are saying, let opportunities go round. At the end of the day, Nigeria itself is using the talents of its men and women. The second pillar is what we call the women empowerment. The third is what we call the social inclusion.
It's a component of the rebuilding of the Northeast that were highly affected by the insurgency. And Africa Development Bank took it very vital and important to ensure that there's a policy that is used for project and program implementation for the rebuilding of the Northeast.
If approved, the document will be implemented in every sphere and sector. Momso Damien Dati, NTA News.
With the challenge of global peace, insecurity and poverty amongst others, women from all over the globe converge on Abura Eche local government area of Rivers State to pray for peace and harmony among nations of the world. Diane Kume Ulolo reports that the theme of the annual program is Be Fruitful and Multiply in all areas of life.
The Wailing Women's objective is to serve as prophetic gatekeepers for the nations and the church as they travail in prayers for development in every sector of the country. Declaring the 21st International Conference of Wailing Women open, special guest of honor and wife of the governor, Bayelsa State, Gloria Doredre, noted that God is calling us to bear innovative fruit.
Any nation that depends on God, totally depending on God, especially in times like this, shall find God.
We must multiply the kingdom of God on earth. We must go out and win souls because God wants souls.
If we are going to be fruitful from north to south, from east to west, we must allow for justice, for peace, and for love.
Keynote speaker Dr. Steve Organ, who preached on the theme Be Fruitful and Multiply, noted that fruitfulness and multiplication are direct commands from the Lord. Some delegates, drawn from various countries, expressed expectations from the conference.
The Lord is going to help us. Through this conference, we are going to come together and be fruitful to one another.
I want to see the nations have that fear of God in them.
From Abara in Eche local government area of Rivers State, Yanukume Ulolo, NTA News.
Time now to go over to our Enugu Network Center, and Mina is our guide. Hello, Mina. It's good to see you.
Hello, Jumeirah. Welcome to Enugu. The federal government's commitment to healthcare delivery in the face of a third wave of COVID-19 virus and the recent cholera outbreak is non-negotiable. House of Representatives member for Kigwe North in the National Assembly, Miriam Onwoha, made us known at a free medical outreach in Okigwe, Imo State. Reina Obasi has details.
The people of Okigwe North came out in their numbers at Okwele Primary Health Center to participate in the free medical care. The medical outreach comprised of eye checks with free eyeglasses, total body check, surgeries and free drugs for both adults and children. For some of the beneficiaries, especially the surgery patients, it was prayer answered as they expressed the difficulties they had to go through over the years.
I just performed the operation now and I'm out from the theater. I feel good, I feel great.
I feel very, very excited. Having free operation, free medical treatment in short. So I'm very, very grateful with her.
I benefited these free eye glasses, which enables me to read and which enables me to go out under the sun because before I cannot do it.
The member House of Representatives and organizer of the medical outreach says the exercise is part of the effort at ensuring adequate healthcare delivery to rural dwellers.
Recommend, more importantly, the surgical units.
Free mattresses, mosquito nets and blankets were also distributed to the patients. In Owerri, Reina Obasi, NTA News.
The General Officer Commanding 82 Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Tuarid Labaja, says the Nigerian Army is committed to protecting the territorial integrity of the country and putting an end to all acts of banditry, terrorism, and insurgency. He was speaking while playing host to the management of the NTA Enugu Network Center, who paid him a courtesy visit. Chinenwe now reports.
Though the country is facing some security challenges, the Nigerian Army has remained resolute in its fight against banditry, armed robbery, kidnapping, and insurgency, and is winning the war. The 82 Division of the Nigerian Army has always been an instrument of the state in safeguarding lives and property, and the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, has partnered it in that regard through its balanced and objective reportage. To enhance the already existing mutual relationship between the duo, the Zonal Director, NTA Enugu Network Center, led the management staff on a courtesy visit to the GOC 82 Division, Major General Taoreed Labaja, who assumed office a few months ago.
We've come a long way with the Nigerian Army, reiterating that we're here for you. Anytime you call on us, we're here to serve you.
acknowledging the NTA for its role in the dissemination of factual news, which has helped to douse tension amidst the prevailing security challenges. The GOC pledged to move the existing relationship to a higher pedestal.
Giving us visibility to the wide audience, so we appreciate you for that. And considering also that beyond the dissemination of news, you are also a holder of public opinion.
In appreciation for the services rendered by the NTA, Major General Taoreed Labaja presented a souvenir to the Zonal Director, Benny Modi. In Enugu, Chineyanwoye, NTA News.
And that's it. From here, it's back to Jummai in Abuja for a continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Mina. The Nigerian Governors Forum has condemned what it called barbaric and very tragic incident that led to the loss of 23 travelers around Gadabu in Jos North local government area of Plateau State. A statement from the forum says such actions are capable of diminishing the relative peace enjoyed and exacerbate tension. The forum wants the country's security organizations to fish out all those involved and bring them forward to face the full wrath of the law to serve as deterrent to those who are contemplating similar action. Meanwhile, Plateau State Elders Forum has expressed deep shock over the recent attack along Rukuba Road in Jos, urging security agencies to always be proactive in their constitutional responsibility in the protection of lives and property of the citizens. A statement signed by the chairman of the forum, Ambassador Yahya Kwande, the forum sympathizes with the families of those affected by the unfortunate incident and prays for quick recovery of the survivors of the attack. They also calls for fervent prayers across all faiths and beliefs for peaceful coexistence among all citizens of Plateau State. As part of ongoing efforts at restoring public order in Rukuba and its environs in Jos Plateau State following the unfortunate incident of last Saturday, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has ordered the deployment of additional operational assets, including a police surveillance helicopter, 2 units of police mobile force and 2 cells of counter-terrorism unit to Plateau State. In a statement, Force Public Relations Officer CP Frank Umba indicates that the surveillance helicopter is expected to carry out aerial surveillance and confidence-boosting patrols within the hotspots in coordinated operations with the ground troops. The IGP noted that 13 additional suspects have been arrested in connection with the incident, bringing the total number of arrested persons to 33, and assuring that the police is committed to working with other patriotic stakeholders towards restoring public order in Plateau and other parts of the country. Meanwhile, the head of the police intervention team is already on ground in Plateau, coordinating police investigation, operational and peace-building response. Plateau State Security Council meets on Jos crisis, and Jared Digmu is standing by for these and other stories.
Thank you, Jimmy. Hello and welcome to Jos. Plateau State Commissioner of Police Edward Igbuka says miscreants and not a particular ethnic group were responsible for killings that occurred last Saturday at Rukuba Road in Jos. This was while briefing newsmen after the Plateau State Security Council meeting, where heads of security agencies briefed Governor Simon Lalong on security situation in the state. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
This is the second security meeting by heads of security agencies in Plateau State with Governor Simon Lalong following the unrest in some parts of the state. The Commissioner of Police described as unfortunate the unwarranted attacks on innocent persons and clarified the allegations that a particular ethnic group was responsible for the killings.
This is miscreants, and we are after hoodlums, miscreants that want to take. Look, most of these hoodlums just want to take opportunity to loot. So we don't want to blame any particular person. It's just miscreants.
While confirming the number of people killed in Sunday's skirmishes, he says some arrests have been made, while security has been beefed up to forestall further breakdown of law and order.
Early in the morning, there were some skirmishes here and there in some, far-flung areas of the town. We recorded some deaths, at last count 7, but the situation had been taken care of, and normalcy has been returned. The University of Jos, we had some challenges there, but the personnel of the joint patrol operations were already on ground.
He maintained that the dusk to dawn curfew imposed by the state government in Bassa and Jos South local governments, as well as the 24-hour curfew in Jos North local government, remain in force, and advised residents to strictly adhere to these directives. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
Nigerian Film Corporation Jos has a major role to play in the transformation of youth through digital economy and innovation. Director General of the corporation, Dr. Chidi Amadwekwe, was speaking while receiving report on the proposed French agency's intervention projects. Bilkisu Nuhu has details.
The report is to serve as a guideline in transforming the audiovisual industry in line with global best practices. The intervention by ADF is to provide ways of boosting the film industry by checking out potentials in the industry and how government can strengthen the capacity of key players.
This kind of partnership we are doing now is to see how the quality will be improved and how more people will be attracted, particularly young people.
We look at it from the side of the institute, the kind of training they're going to do, how they can improve the capacity of those trainings. Also look at it in terms of gender and gender empowerment.
On its part, the corporation noted that the film industry has a major role to play in transforming the lives of 100 million youths in the next 10 years through digital economy, innovations, and breaking frontiers that have been dormant in the past.
We have rich diversity in our story, which is being looked forward to in expression globally. That is why today, you see, Netflix is rushing to Nigeria, and many of our young stories are being signed up. And therefore, when we do that, we are going to create jobs, we are going to have revenue, and we are going to smile as people who now have become the creative capital of the world.
Some of the key players noted that with proper planning, potentials and interest in the film industry around the world, stakeholders can do more to turn it around. In Jos, Bilkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
And that's it from Jos. We are going on a short break now. When we return, Nationwide continues with Kemi in Ibadan.
Youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
We've been trying our best to contain the situation, and in our operations we've been able to make a lot of recoveries. We've been able to also arrest suspects that are involved in this kind of activities, and we've been able to also recover particularly arms and ammunition from those who are carrying it unlawfully and disturbing the peace of the people. But generally, our morale in the Nigerian police is always guided by our commitment to do what we have sworn to do. Peace and security must be looked into as a priority by all. To look at security as the business of all of us.
This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Dear compatriots, our country can be as great as we want.
Let us all commit ourselves to its greatness.
We must be willing to set aside our differences, unite and stay as one.
In our expansive landmass, human and material resources, and plurality lies our strength.
Let our challenges lead us to rediscover our common ground, and together, let's find solutions.
This will take some time, so it requires
patience, tolerance, and forgiveness from every one of us.
Let all hands come on deck to protect and transform our country.
Let us unite and see each other not as adversaries, but as brothers and sisters.
Together, we can build a better Nigeria for ourselves and for the next generations.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
We are StarTimes, the most affordable digital pay TV platform with the widest signal coverage in Nigeria, dedicated to bringing the best TV entertainment around the world to your screen. From Hollywood to Bollywood to Nollywood, we offer the most affordable subscription. Enjoy over 75 channels for as low as 1,700 naira, like Nat Geo Wild, BBC, ESPN, and premium sports like Emirates FA Cup, La Liga, Bundesliga, wrestling. What's more exciting? We have the most flexible payment options in Nigeria. Don't dull. Join us now for an exciting journey. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Watching nationwide on the network service of the NTA, and welcome to Ibadan. For users of cooking gas, the rising price put at about 500 naira per kilogram is a source of concern. But how affordable is this for many, and what are the coping mechanisms or alternatives for users? This is what Larry Bile is out to find out on the streets of Ibadan. Larry, it's over to you.
I have Mr. Chooks, who is a retailer for cooking gas for the past 8 years. I want him to tell me, Mr. Chooks, what do you think? What did they tell you contributed to the steady increase in the price of cooking gas?
Actually, what happened is that, according to them, when they went to depot to load it, that instead of 4 million or 5 million as well, it has now increased to 8 million. So understand? And we are even selling. Some of us are selling 600 naira per kg. Some are selling 550. And the people that are even buying, so those that buy 6 kg, now they're now reduced to 2 kgs. And those that buy 3 kgs now reduced to 1 kgs. So it's not convenient for them at all to even buy it. So understand? So majority some of them are not even using gas anymore. Some are using firewood or charcoal.
Retailers are now selling a 6 kg cylinder for about 3,300 naira, as against 2,400 naira, because our kg now sells at 550 naira, and for 12.5 kg cylinder is now about 6,000 naira.
I'm spending like 3,800, so now it has increased to like 4,800 or 5,000. So it's really affecting a lot.
Our findings from the stakeholders in the gas sector identify 2 things as the cause of the steady increase in the price of cooking gas: over-dependence of the nation on imported LPG and the fragile condition of the naira at the Forex exchange. Local supply of cooking gas contributes about 40% of the nation's consumption. Nigerians advocate that instead of it being supplied at a fixed amount annually, it should now be based on demand. It's back to the studios.
The Ogun State government has flagged off free enrollment of pupils in primary schools ahead of the 2021-2022 academic session. This is to ensure massive enrollment of pupils into basic education classes. Correspondent Joel Pukwola reports that the State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, took this awareness campaign to major markets in Ijebu-Ode.
In furtherance of his mission to ensure all eligible school-age children in Ogun State enroll in the free primary school enrollment exercise, the State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, led by the Commissioner, Professor Abayomi Arigbabu, is embarking on an enlightenment campaign to sensitize parents in the markets and parks on the significance of free enrollment. The Commissioner, while seeking the collaboration of market leaders at Okiaji Market, said facilities have been put in place for those in crèche and pre-nursery classes for exposure to early child education. The market leader, Okiaji Market, Alaja Ikuforiji, commended the effort of the state government in revamping schools across the state. The commissioner was also at Olabisi Onabanjo Market, where he solicited the support of the traders to further boost the enrollment of school-age children to ensure Ogun State remains in the forefront.
Most of the private schools you have around us are relatively of high standards. And I say this without fear of favor. I tell you that the best quality of teachers you can find around, you find them in public schools.
The enrollment is expected to continue till September 13, when the school will resume for another academic session.
And that's it from Ibadan. Jume, it's back to you.
Thank you, Kemi. The Director General of the All Progressives Congress Governors Forum, Salihu Muhammad Lukman, wants APC as part of its vision to change to prioritize the development of initiatives towards improving relationship with the Nigerian civil society. In a statement, Salihu Lukman said developing improved relations with Nigerian civil societies should be part of the strategic goal of developing Nigeria's democracy and ensuring that Nigerian politics is being refined and new democratic frontiers which should promote engagement between Nigerian government and citizens are created. The statement encouraged political leaders in the country to develop a more positive disposition towards civil society in the country. The APC Governors Forum Director General said the National Orientation Agency should develop a strategy to enhance the processes of political leadership recruitment in the country, which are hardly planned and largely impulsive. This, he added, can be achieved if political parties in Nigeria broaden membership mobilization to include engagement with Nigerian civil society as a strategy for leadership recruitment. Talking judiciary, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Muhammad, has tasked judicial officers to be upright in their dealings with people who appear before them seeking justice. He gave the advice while swearing in the new acting Chief Judge of the High Court of the FCT, Justice Hussaini Baba Yusuf, and 5 Qadis of the Sharia Court of Appeal. Austin Ayabe, who was at the Supreme Court, reports.
The appointment of the acting Chief Judge of the FCT, Hussaini Baba Yusuf, followed the resignation of Justice Garba Salisu, who took up an appointment as the administrator of the National Judicial Institute. Swearing in the acting Chief Judge of the High Court of the FCT and 5 Qadis of the Sharia Court of Appeal in Abuja, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Tanko Muhammad, reminds them of the weight of oath of office taken.
The times that we're in are quite perilous. So we need a judicial officer like my lord, or like my lords, as you are, who we assume are calculative, objective, dispassionable, humble, and people-centric, to be at the helm of affairs of the FCT judiciary.
Some of the newly appointed Qadis who took oath of office pledged to abide by the Constitution and the rules of courts.
Taken a bond and will stand by it, inshallah.
Grand Qadi of Sharia Court of Appeal, Kwara State, admonished the newly Qadis to be firm in taking judicial decisions. From the Supreme Court, Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
Sports update is next.
Hosts Sokoto emerged overall winners of the national